Hello everybody, today I'm super excited to talk about Python. In this tutorial we will see the basics of Python. Actually it's a Python crash course. Okay, let's get started. What's Python and why is Python? Python is one of the easiest and one of the most versatile programming language which is used everywhere nowadays. So it's good to learn Python programming. So what do you do with Python? Let's see what it says on the official website of Python. If you know Python, you will be able to develop web, or you can develop graphical user interface for desktop, or you can use Python to analyze data for scientific purpose, to make decision from data, and it can be used in many software development and system administration. So that means Python can be used almost everywhere, and it's gaining more and more popularity nowadays. So it's a good language to start with. If you have never written any piece of programming codes, now it's your time to start with. So today I will show you how to write Python codes from the basics, from absolute beginner level to somehow basic understanding of Python. So first you download Python 3.6, that's the latest version of Python. And Python 2.7 is the oldest, or the legacy, which is still used in some industries, but today we use Python 3.6 for this tutorial. So you download this from here and install to your machine. Either you may have a Windows or Mac, it doesn't matter, just install Python 3.6. What editor am I going to use today? I'm going to use PyCharm. It's really very nice. There are two kinds of PyCharm now, professional or community. The community version is free, as you can see. You can download and you can use it for lifetime. And the professional, it's for 1 month trial. You may try, you may check it. I'm using the 1 month trial. But to check first if Python is installed or not in your computer, you write cmd, and then on the command line interface you write py. Then you will see Python 3.6 July 8, 2007 release is installed in this computer. Okay, let's do some simple arithmetic. 3 plus 4, it gives me 7. So Python is working. How about 4 minus 3? 3 times is asterisk, or this star sign, it gives me 12. How about 3 divided by 4? It gives me 0.75. How about 8 divided by 4? It gives me 2.0. Any number divided by another number, it gives you decimal in Python. So remember, it's not anymore integer, it gives you decimal. How about if we divide 25? Actually it's not division, to get the quotient. 25 divided, instead of 25 it would be good, you can make it 25. 25 divide to know the quotient, it gives me 6. When we divide 25 by 4, it will be 6, and there will be a remainder. 6 is a quotient, right? Yeah, because 6 times 4, 24, there is 1 left over. 25, to know the remainder, 25 divided by 4, then how much? It will be 1, to know the remainder, okay? This is how you do Python. Now we are just doing very, very simple arithmetic. In this, we saw how to use a Python on Python interactive shell by doing some arithmetic. So how about if we like to store the variables, using variables, for instance, num1 is equal to 3, num2 is equal to 4. Now I have stored 3 in num1, 4 in num2, and if I like to sum num1 plus num2, what's wrong? Oh yeah, that's not how I write, because it's supposed to be, there is no any space in between, it should be, yeah, if I call sum, I will get 7. Product num1 times num2. Oh yeah, this is how you use the interactive shell, Python interactive shell, but this is not how you really work in real life. In addition, the shortest way to open the interactive shell, rather than typing cmd, you may write also py, and then this can also open, just to check, 1 plus 2. So this is the Python interactive shell. So let me close and let's do with this, the text editor. As I told you, I'm going to use PyCharm text editor, which is my favorite for Python. You may have other favorite text editor. You may use, or if you may use PyCharm. Okay, let me create a folder to Python crash course. So let me access from here. Then there's create over here. This is how to use PyCharm. You may close it, or if you like, you can read. So as you can see, Python crash course is a folder here, and it is my project. I will put all my project inside here. So let me right click and create a file, Python crash course. You may give it any kind of name you like, but for me, for this tutorial, I will call it Python crash course. You don't have to put any extension .py, because Python, this PyCharm by itself give it an extension because it's Python file, so we don't have to worry about it. So let's see. Print by type hello world. So this will print for us hello world. This is how hello world is printed. In your case, you may write your name, print your name, by putting inside the quotation mark. So the purpose of print is to print out something. As you can see, we have printed hello world, Washer Academy, your name. So far we have printed text. How do we print numbers? When we print numbers, we don't use quotation mark. 100, 200, let's check. Still working. How about true? True is a special word in Python. The same goes for false. So we don't put them in quotation mark. We just leave them as they are. Okay, this is how you do. So now we see how to print using print by just putting one parameter. How about if we like to print many? Print My name is somebody. So that means I can put many parameters by separating comma. Yes. So let's see. My name is somebody. Okay. So instead of writing like this, because it is not nice, name is equal to washara. This is declaring variable. That means I am creating a memory space in the computer memory and storing washara. So name refers to washara. In the name, washara is stored, so I can access age 100. Okay, my name is, so I just refer name. Okay, my name is washara. So let's see the output of this. My name is washara. Then I am years old. It needs one space, that's why you see this. My name is washara. I am 100 years old. If we like to put full stop over here, how do we do? So we just now my name is washara. There is too much space over here. Actually, we don't need. Okay, actually we don't. Actually, we can put it like this. Also, my name is washara. I am 100 years old. So you may do the same like this. You put your name, your age, and print out. So this is how to use printf for many parameters. As you can see, how many parameters do we have here now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can put as many parameters you like. But today we will work on a real exercise. So what's the exercise looks like? Let me show you. The exercise is like this. So looping and printing. We have seen printing already. How do we loop from 0 to 20? Okay, let me show you. Not to come now and again. Let me take this one, copy. So how do you, so since we don't need this one, we may. By the way, this is a comment. That means anything you write after this will not be interpreted by the interpreter, the editor. So I can put this, or I can also put, yes. So this is the question. How do we do that? Why it's this line? Because there should be space. It says write code that prints every integer between 0 to 20. So from 0 to 20, how do we do that? Are we going to print like this? Print 0, print 1, print 2. Okay, let me copy and now three, 4, 5. Actually, it's very tiresome if you do it like this. 7, 8, 9, up to 10, up to 20. Okay, you do up to 20, but for me, just to make it short, is this how you do it? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But this is tiresome. So we have to loop, we have to make this very, very short. How do we do? As I told you, we can declare variable in Python just by writing any name, by giving any name. This is a variable in Python. I can say I, or J, or J. Oh yeah, it did. Okay, Jack. Or I can call ABC, or any. So any letter could be a variable, but not number. Numbers couldn't be a variable. So let me put 0, and then while I is less than 20, print I. So I don't need this anymore because this is tiresome and this is not how it's supposed to be done. So this, why this? Because it doesn't need indentation. I have to put it like this. Then starting from 0, and if I is less than 20, at 1 when looping. Okay, let's check how it gives. Now as you can see, I loop from 0 to 19. How about if I make it equal to, now I will get up to 20. This is how you do it. So this is while loop. But how about if you like to use for loop? For I, or you could be J in range up to 21, because range doesn't include the last number. If it's 20, if it's 21, it's 20. If it's 10, it will be 9. So print J. The value of J is, let's see, by putting J over here. So now we have printed from 0 to 20. So that means we have done the first exercise. The first exercise will be done either this way or this way, whatever you prefer. So how about the next one? The next one is going to be, let's copy and take it to the text editor because it will be easy to work with. For me, I prefer to put it here because it will be easy for me to read from here. And there is two kinds of, you can also put 3 quotation mark to comment. Okay, now we can see it directly from here. So modify the previous code and define the code snippet as a function. So what's our task? No, we have to change also this as a function. Also put the numbers into an array instead of printing. Okay, the function should take no input parameters and return an array. Okay, so we have been asked 2 questions now. One to return array, and the other is Python. This editor is just auto complete. The other is to define a function. Okay, let me define a function first. Define function. What the function? We change this to function. This one, just copy and put it here. Looping. I call the name looping. You can give it whatever name you like, but After you define, give it a name, and you have to put parentheses, and then there should be a colon, and there should be also this distance indentation. Then let me copy this part and put it here, because since I have used I and since I have used the J over there, let me say this K. So I will call, because this is function calling, this is how you call function, and now I have to get the value of K. The value of K from 0 to 20. That's great, but I think that's not what we have asked. What is asked is somehow different. Also put the numbers into an array. What's array, by the way? Array is something we write like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. This is array. If I declare, you can give it any kind of name, but I call it ARR, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the index of this is 0, 1, 2, 3. Each array has index, memory address, and it is 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so instead of just printing, how do we put into array? Okay, let me show you. Instead of array, I declare empty array. Let me remove this one, and then now, as you can see, I am printing from 0 to 20 as I have shown here. Let me then array dot append K. That means 0 will be appended to here, 1 will be appended to here, from 0 to 20 will be appended to this array. And then instead of printing, we don't need to print anymore, so I will return the array. I will return this. So this doesn't print, so I have to print this also. Print the value. Let's see. I think yes, as you can see, I have printed from 0 to 20 in the form of array. That's great. So we have managed to loop, and we managed to also put or change to array, as you can see, from 0 to 20. If you have done this, well done. You have managed to loop and also put it into array. How about this? Reverse and return the array. I better to copy exactly like this, and let's do as I have done. Okay, just follow me what I do, and sometimes it's better to do what I do. This is just commenting because it will be easy for me to read from here rather than going to the browser. Okay, now we can read exactly from here. Define a function that takes an array. Okay, define. Then array as input parameter. It has parameter and reverse array of the input array. Okay, reverse array. Reverse array. The name of our function is going to be reverse array. Then it has to take array. So if that's the array, to reverse we have to also create new array. The new array is going to be empty. Then for I in range, the length of the array, because we loop through each value of the array. Then yes, new array dot append I. Am I right now? Am I going to append the index or the value? No, it's not I. So what am I going to? Array no, this one, length array minus, because we're reversing, so minus I minus 1, because as I told you, it starts from 0 and the length is minus less than by 1, so we have to subtract from the length of the last index. For instance, for 0, if it has 10, it's going to be 10. 10 minus 0, 10. 10 minus 1, 9. So the last index is going to be 9. So we will see practically how it looks like. Then we return new array, right? Then print reverse. Let's put array. If you like to, for instance, put any kind of array, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So what are you expecting from this? We are expecting now 50, 40, 30, 20, and 10. Let's print. Yes, 50, 40, 30, 20, and 10. Great! If you have managed to define this reverse array and if you manage to print out this array, then you are very well done. Let's move on. So now we are about to create a file and to write the file, to write something on the file. I have copied that. I think this is the fourth exercise. Let's put it first. Just as I showed, 3 quotation mark, and it will be easy for me to read from here. Okay, what's this? Because it doesn't need any indentation. That's why it was red. Define a function that takes an array as an input parameter, open a file, writes it. Okay, so define a function, write on file. I call it this. And it has to take array as a parameter. I am working on based on the exercise, so I have to follow each and every requirement. Okay, I think you have to do also the same based on the exercise, based on the question and based on what I'm doing. Takes an array as an input parameter, open a file. So how do I open a file? File is equal to open, and I call it just example.txt, and I give it this. So then write each value from the input. Okay, then it takes, okay, how am I going to write? F dot write, it's going to be string over here. So first I have to iterate through the array, as we are putting array over here, and you know how to iterate for I in range, the length of the array, and then it doesn't matter, f dot write I. What does it give me? It gives me something, but this is not what is asked. So we have to do it differently. Now if I do this, I'm going to write the index, but that's not what is asked. So this is what I'm going to do. Write array dot I. This is how I access the value, by referencing with the index. Okay, let's see. Then as you can see, I have only one file. I have only python crash course.py. After I run this code, I will have example.txt file. Let's see what I'm going to see. So write, then print write I will also see the value over here then. So how about if I put the value over here? What I put, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's run. There's error. Yes, do you know, guys, this dot write doesn't take numbers, so I have to change it to string. It says write argument must be string, not int. So I have to change it like string by putting like this method. String method change for me. Let's run now. Yes, now it ran. Actually, it doesn't execute over here, but as you can see now, example.txt is executed. Let's open it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, exactly. How about if we change 10, 20, 30, 40? Let's see. Yes, 10, 20, 30. So we managed to write on a file. But as you can see, we cannot print on the console over here because that's not what this function do, but we have to call it over here. So this is enough. Then if you have done this, if you manage to create a file, and if you manage to write the value of the arrays on the file, then you have done this exercise. Well done. Let's move on. Then the fifth exercise, what does it say? Actually, we have done this one. Reading from file. Okay. Reading from file. We wrote on file, now we are going to read from file. As I have been doing, I have to first comment this one by, and not this. This is how you do multiple line comment. Then we can read exactly from here. Okay, so what are we supposed to do here? Define a function that opens a file. Okay. Define opening file. I call this, and then open it. Give the file name as a parameter. Okay. Read the file line by lines and parse for an integer on each line. Okay. Be aware of new line characters in line by line reading. Sum all integers you read from the file. So we open a file and we check if there's a number or not, and then we take out the number or extract the number and we sum the number. That's what is asked there. So I think how we do this, let's do sum, because we are going to sum is equal to 0 because we don't have anything yet. Our file name. The file name is supposed to be input because the user has to access input enter file name. Sometimes the file might not exist, so we have to handle errors. How do we handle? Try. First we have to try is just to handle. Then f open. If the file exists, open file name, because I have this already. I got file from this, it's input, I'm getting file from here, and then I open it. But how about if there's any file? Print file was not found, because we have to give some information for the user, unless otherwise our application will crash without saying anything. So here we get the file name by using user input, and then we have accessed, we have opened it using fopen function. Okay, let's move on. Then after we open, what do we do? For line in fopen, fopen means this one, it's opened over here. If we have the file, we open it there. Then if line, if line means if there is something in the file. If the file is empty, it doesn't do anything. Then let's just call it numbers. But first let's see what does this do actually. Print line, because it doesn't make sense. But I have created already a file, and the file name is income, which might help you to understand, because now we are going to open a file called income. Let me create here new file, income, and let me paste. This is, I have been a student almost the rest of my life, therefore I didn't earn much. Now I'm acquiring knowledge to make use of some. Anyway, there is 200,000, 30,000, and also other numbers. So we are going to extract these numbers and to sum the numbers. Okay, so already we have wrote this. What does this print really? First define, let's call our function opening file. Let's call and let's see. Okay, income, because it's asking me. Yeah, as you can see, we have managed to open. I have been a student almost something. I have managed to print out the file. That is great. But our task is not just to print out the numbers. Our task is to extract numbers from this file and to sum the numbers. My mouse is going crazy, so let's do more to figure out what we are supposed to do. Then there is this called something which you don't have to remember, but it's a module. In Python, you import different libraries. There is math library, there are different libraries. For this exercise, we import regular expression. We import array, regular expression. It used to parse different text types, to remove punctuation, and to make our text clean. So we use a regular expression. So to extract the numbers, numbers is equal to a regular expression find all, and we call R and regular expression all decimal numbers, not one, all of them, plus is all of them. And we call line, because we have line here, from every line, and stripe the empty space. First stripe the empty space. I think there should be. Okay, so let's see what is inside. Print numbers. Let's see what is in the numbers, because we have to see step by step what we are doing. Okay, income. As you can see, we managed to extract the numbers from here, from this text, that is 2,000, 28 and 30,000. That is great, and it is in the form of array. But remember, each number is in the form of string, it's not numbers, so we have to change this into number when we are adding, because it's impossible to add strings. Okay, so there's still some task. What? The next task is to add these numbers. Okay, how we add? Over here, another for n in numbers. Yes, for n in numbers, sum is equal to plus, no, wait, int numbers n. So what am I doing here? First, I go to all these numbers, as you have seen. I have printed this. I go to all these numbers by referring n, and then change to int, and then I am adding every of them. So let's print now. Instead of printing numbers, I can print both actually. Print the sum is sum. Let's see. So it's asking me file name. My file name is income. Oh, there is a problem. List index must be integer or slice, not string. Okay. Where is the error? Line 96. List. Okay. Oh, yes, this is not how I iterate actually. Okay. Actually, the easiest way we can also do this, n actually refers to the number. It's not so. For n in numbers is exactly we are accessing the numbers. We're accessing these numbers. Where was it? The previous print. We can see from the previous print. Where is it? Okay. Anyway, let me print for you from here, and I will show you. So instead of just n, we have to remove this because we are just accessing. Now we will get the right answer, I hope. Well, income, int argument must be a string, by look, not list. Okay, let's check what's happening here. Sum. Oh yeah, the problem is we have to access this one and not numbers, every numbers. That was the problem. It's good to have bugs sometimes because it helps learn. So now we will print definitely, because that was a silly mistake. As you can see, we managed to figure out sum is 34,528. Well done, guys. If you have managed to reach up to this point, you are a hero. Well done. So let's move on to the second or the last exercise. The last exercise is write a main function, wrapping everything up. Define a main function and perform the following using the function you have defined. So we have create an array with numbers from 0 to 20, reverse the array. We define also a reversing array function, write an array which open a file and write the value of the arrays on the file. We read the file and calculate the sum. So now we wrap up every of the function together in one file. Well, how do we do that? As you remember, just to clean, define a wrapper function, I call it wrapper function. You may call it whatever you like. So I will put all my code inside here. So how do I do that? And just tab. After you select, just tab. If I run now, I select and run, nothing, because everything is wrapped up together. So to see the result, I have to call the wrapper function. How do I call wrapper function? Now I will see all the result over here. Yes, now I can see all my result. I can say income. So this is all about Python. So you've learned how to loop through from starting number to end, and also you managed to know how to define functions, how to reverse array or list in Python actually, how to write on files and how to read from files and extract numbers from files using regular expression. And you learned also how to wrap up different functions in a big other function. So we have managed to see all the basics of Python. I think this was the end of my Python crash course. I hope you have enjoyed. If you like this course, subscribe and recommend for your friend. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in another tutorial.